Hey, there we go.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. And I managed to join on
I-
Paranormal Talk. There we go. So
Oh,
it was the app. It does need to be on the phone for some reason.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I was getting so engrossed in the conversation, I hadn't noticed that my battery was
That's
dying,
fine.
and I thought, I didn't get it because of my old knees. I didn't get to my charger in time,
Yeah.
and I've completely forgot what I was talking about.
A friend of mine might be requesting to join because you're still.
Yes, I've just accepted David.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah,
Yes, I've just accepted him. Yeah.
He's in Stamford Leo.
I used to live
Yeah,
there.
Stamford No Hope.
Yeah. Mind you, there's been a lot. There was a lot. Abbott's Drive. There was a lot of the poltergeist activity on Abbott's Drive.
Ooh, yeah, sounds good. Interesting. I don't know where he lives. He's down that way somewhere. He's always up for going out if you're ever going down that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to avoid Stanford. Hope
he used to work with me at the Fort. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll put my glasses on and try and look like I know. I'll put my glasses on and try and look like I know what I'm talking about. So, it's not working.
No. That's why I put a hat on. Stops the boldness.
Yeah. I'm looking so gum since I've been unwell. I've got right with your investigations you've been out on. You're saying I think you said you started out solo.
Mm.
Was there any locations you've been to and gone, do you know what? I wished I hadn't actually come here, but I need to finish it, or any places that you've gone there and gone, do you know what? No, I can't take it anymore. You've had to leave.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever left. The only time I ever left somewhere was Voisaby Asylum. You know it?
No, I don't. I've heard of it, but I've never been.
Well, my heart, I just felt like palpitations. Heart rate was up. The watch was telling me it was up. So I just had to get outside. So once again, had thingy back it up. That's probably the only time.
See now, when me and Dominic have been investigating, or Dominic had been on a couple of like these organised things.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about earlier, but he hadn't done it seriously until I've known him. I think this Christmas will be 4 years I've known it. And it was Pottsford that finally went, you know what? Yeah, there's definitely something to it for him. And we done Dunwich. It was last year actually. We done Dunwich, and he saw his first apparition down there.
That's good.
And that knocked him for 6.
Yeah.
But since he's seen that, when we've gone on locations, we've noticed if there is anything there, it seems to, for want of a better word, psychically attack him. When he's there, he'll start feeling sick. He'll start feeling dizzy. He'll get headaches, and he'll just get the sensation that he's not wanted there. And I don't even know. Do you know Eddie Mallet?
No.
He's very well known in the field. Eddie Mallet. He does a lot of stuff with Chris Horton.
Haunted Earth. Yeah, I know you mean now. Yeah.
We've done. I can never pronounce this right. It's either Stanton Church or Stanton Church.
Stanton. Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah, never been, but I know of it. Yeah, is that the one with the lady who's in the picture? The one sitting.
No, it's the one with the.
Yeah.
It's one with the pervy reverend spirit of the pervy reverend.
Yeah.
Who likes to touch women up.
I know the one though. Yeah.
Actually, I won't find it just now. I'll find it in a minute. We potentially actually I had my camera set up on a stand, aiming at the back of the church, and was getting a weird battery drain. Now, obviously, under what I think it's about under about 14 degrees, a battery drains quicker anyway. So I was filming on my phone. I was filming the screen of my camera, and something actually went past the screen at the time. I slowed that video clip down by 96%. I slowed that video clip down, and it still goes past the screen at like 1,000,000 miles an hour.
So what was you on, like 25 or 30 frames a second or so?
Probably 30 it was.
Yeah. And then yeah, so
I'll,
you slowed that down quite a lot then. Yeah.
yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll show you. But when we was there, I asked the question. Okay, if you're here, I want proof that you're here because I want to know that when I go, my children will be there waiting for
it's the
me.
same thing I'm here with. Yeah, you want to know something.
We call it. Sorry, my cat's now decided to use the litter tray right
It's
next
fine.
to me.
I've got the doggy down here, popping off.
But no, on video, I actually slowed it down so you can see it properly. Because we call it on camera. I physically got pushed, and you see my clip. I go like that sort of where I physically felt something hit me in the back.
Do you know what? I can believe that because I've been present around and even myself felt things like where people have been like, "Did you just touch me?" No. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you just touch me? No. And it's happened a lot. Yeah, more than people would think. I'd say it's probably more chance of that happening than like poltergeist.
Where I lived in Leiston, there was no children there. I called it I called it the mental ward because everybody there in one way or another had some form of mental health problem, whether it's depression, anxiety or whatever. And it's like they'd all clumped us all together around the back of the site where no one could see you, sort of like as if you're ashamed of you. Now, on that site, there was no children at all. And on a regular basis, I call EVPs in my flat of very young children playing. Now, the site itself, back in the 1800s, did have a workhouse on there. It had been a steel works as well after that. Now, I'm even that, and Dominic always said he thinks it was like a portal there.
Yeah.
Because I could do an EVP virtually daily and get something almost every single day. I'd lay in bed and I'd hear footsteps walking up and down my hall. My door handles would jiggle on their own. Lights would turn on their own. But to this day, I don't know if it's residuals of back from when it was a workhouse or if it was my children playing. So I've got some really clear ones there. One time me, Gavin and Bron were doing an EVP session in there, was like practicing. So I showed them how to do it and showed them, because I use Audacity myself, and I was showing them how to use Audacity and the best that I know how to use it. And I'd actually gone to the toilet, and Gavin and Bron were sat in the front room, and we'd had a reply of a male voice. And as you can hear, I've got quite a deep voice. Gavin's got quite a very soft voice. He's a gentle giant, Gavin. He's a lovely bloke, but he's got a very soft-spoken voice. Now, this voice that came through had a Canadian accent or American accent or something, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
The fact that in Leiston getting an accent like that. But when I went to the toilet, Gavin said, "Okay, to prove you're here, when they made hats, what did they put the hats in? What caused the madness?" And we got an EVP back saying mercury.
Oh, okay. Mercury wasn't like
That's where the saying "mad as a hat" come from.
Yeah.
Because the felt hats were put in through mercury, getting into the blood system, it sends people mad. And that was really interesting.
What was that using?
That was Audacity.
Yeah, so an EVP. Yeah, you had an EVP, and Audacity is quite good. I mean, we even in the professional field of audio production, we use Audacity, even though it's free.
Yeah.
Sometimes Pro Tools might not just cut what we. It's quicker just going in Audacity. So, but
I think one of the worst things like Most Haunted and that back in the day, yes, it stopped people like me and you being classed as the freak that lives up the road who believes in ghosts and things. So that, in fairness, is good because it's brought it out. People that have had experiences aren't as afraid to ask for help or say, "Oh yeah, you know, my nan come and saw me," and things like this. I do find that when there's people like yourself or me or other small groups that just like post on YouTube or post on Facebook or live stream on YouTube or Facebook or on Twitter or wherever they may do it, because it's not like Zach or Yvette Fielding or anything like that, and they expect to put the video clip on, and within 10 seconds there's going to be like a cameraman floating up behind the presenter. That's what I think a lot of people honestly think. So because of that, you know, some of my video clips I've had on like our YouTube for over a year, and I've got some other. I get bored of YouTube, but I like to rebrand it, and then I can never remember a password, so I have to restart it again. But I've got some video clips on there from 15 years ago that still only got like 3 or 4 views. But if it'd been someone like Zach Baggins and, oh, there's a demon over there. Look, there's a demon making a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
50 million hits an hour.
And it's the thumbnails. That's why I put up one earlier on some of the paranormal groups about it. It's the usual thumbnails, isn't it? Where it's like, it was the worst thing that ever happened to us, or this demonic house, or the most haunted house in the UK, or the demon house. And you think, oh, just shut up.
This month, no word of a lie, this month alone, I must have seen 40 plus video clips on Facebook, just on Facebook alone, saying the most haunted pub in Britain.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we know which one's the most haunted house in the UK, supposedly. That's the Ancient Ramin. So, not that much happened.
I want to do that. The one, have you ever done East Drive, 30 East Drive?
I don't want to do it, but I need to do it just to say when I come to argue anything that I've been there.
I want to do it. So
it's
now,
tick off the list.
I could say now, I could go onto Facebook and I've got at least 100 teams that I could speak to that have done East Drive.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the name of the team, but somebody that I know, he's straight as a die. I've known him for 18 years on Facebook. They've got a team of, I think there was 15 of them, but I think one of them recently left. They done East Drive. Now, at the time, he was a smoker. He went outside for a cigarette, and at the time, the next door, I think her name was Sue, the lady that used to be a kid holder.
Is that the owner?
No, it's the lady that was holding the keys for the alleged owners.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this person, I nearly actually said his name then, but I managed to stop myself. He was outside having a cigarette, and he saw the woman that holds the keys in her front room going like that on the wall. Right? He didn't say anything. He walked back inside after his cigarette, and I went, and one or two of his team members went, God, you missed it where he's out of a fag. We asked a question, it started banging all over the walls.
Yeah, I mean...
and the guy that owns it now, I'm not 100% sure, he's Albanian or something. He's like Middle Eastern guy, and it's bugging me because I can't remember his name. But he has actually said in interviews, it's a way of making money. Yeah. He's even openly admitted it's a money-making scam. And I think I could probably ask 1,000 people, and maybe 10 would say yes, they had activity there.
That's the thing. Like just when I said about the Ancient Ramin, at least you know the Ancient Ramin's got all its artifacts and stuff in it, whereas that place is just like a time capsule from the 70s. So
yeah.
I mean, the movie itself was even low budget. They didn't even take the satellite dish off the wall. Have you seen the opening shot? It's like, come on, if it's that low budget, you know, you can't even afford to take a satellite dish off the wall. What else are they wanting money for?
Yeah. So with all your experience, see now, even though I've been doing it all these years, I wouldn't say I'm a professional.
No.
You can't be a professional in the paranormal field.
Why I class as professionals in the paranormal field are people like Kieran O'Keefe and people like that, you know, who've gone to university and studied, and you get these ones that like study sort of telekinesis and all that, and or the ones that like are in the labs with all the stuff on their heads and stuff like that. Proper people like that who've been in.
What are your thoughts on Edgar Casey?
Who's that?
Edgar Casey.
Timeless. The
Sleeping Prophet.
What's the Sleeping Prophet?
He's an American guy, Edgar Casey. Around, I think it was between 1936 and 1941. I think he was most active. Back in 1937, he said underneath one of the paws of the Great Sphinx, I can never pronounce that word, they would find a hidden room. 2000, and in there it would have the Akashic records, you'd have information of the human race, this, that, and the other, the usual tinfoil stuff.
Yeah, just looks
2000. I think it was 2008. They actually found the room under that port.
Yeah,
so
it's like Edward Casey. Yeah, sleeping.
So he said like 50 odd years beforehand that it would be found.
Weird.
Everything was all set to excavate it. The morning of the excavation, the Egyptian government went, no one's ever touched it, and no one's ever been allowed to touch it since. What are your thoughts on that?
No, it's yeah. I need to look into him more now you've mentioned. I've googled him, so I've got him on the screen there, but I might come back to you on that. Talking of like famous people in the past, like obviously Price, who did obviously Borley. Have you ever been over at Borley?
There's nothing there now, though. It's just an empty.
You say that. I've got a story of Borley. So.
And I have noticed though, if you go to the church there, the locals get really nasty with you.
So about 15 years ago, I went there. I thought with a friend of mine, James, who I used to do paranormal with, and we went there and we was like, oh, let's have a look at Borley, because they've actually removed it off of like routes to it. You can't. It's hard to get to. Obviously, if you've got sat nav and that is easy, but there's only.
I actually went past the site a few years ago when I was on my way to Clare Priory.
You can literally drive through it and not realise, oh, crumbs, I've gone through it already, and it says you're leaving Borley. So anyway, when we went there, we parked up, had a look around, and we had just a photo camera with us. I think it was then, and this guy was the bus turned up, and this guy was getting his kid off the bus. And we're thinking, oh, crumbs, he's coming over us, because we heard that they can be quite hot on paranormal or ghost hunters and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, and I sort of fibbed a little bit, said I was doing an article on Borley for a publication. And then we got talking, and he said, oh, come in, have a cup of tea. And he took us into, I'm not going to say which one, but one of the bungalows.
Yeah.
Okay. And we had a cup of tea in that, and he was telling us about they have weird things go on in the bungalow, like electrical problems and that. And the guys actually moved now, because I went back there, not last year, the year before, and I saw the new owners of the place, and I was talking to them about this. Well, anyway, so he said, oh, come with me. So he took me out through the lounge and out around the back dining room, and out back they were having a new conservatory area put on. He said, but we've had to stop work. And like, why's that? And he pulled back his tarpaulin, and there's all this mosaic floor on the floor.
Wow.
Borley Rectory's floor. I've actually seen Borley Rectory's floor. I don't know if it's the red room or what, but it was all red. Oh, dirt, obviously.
That's awesome.
And they had to pause because they had to. I don't know what happened in the end. I said, "Wow, that should be in a museum or something." And he said, "Yeah, that's why they've paused, because they don't know what to do with it at the moment." I think that's like contacting English Heritage. But I always remember that I might actually see in the floor of Borley Rectory.
Harry Price is a very very controversial within the field.
Yeah.
He got caught out many times. Many times.
Yeah. So no one will know what's happened there. But the floating brick, I mean, That was an interesting thing. But I colorized it. I colorize the photos sometimes. It looks different when you colorize it. The technology now that we're coming out for old photos is very interesting when you look at the old photos. And I colorized the people around here when they were sitting around. There's one where they're sitting around doing the seance. That's a bit creepy.
The trouble is because of just the technology on your phone or like free program you get on your laptop or the AI and all that, you can create an image, put a backstory to it, edit it, and it could look like it's from 1910. And
that's right.
To be honest, unless it's something obvious like there's a UFO there and a grey alien scratching his arse in the background. With the way technology is nowadays, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, we're never gonna. Even if a ghost was fully captured on camera now, it'll still be ripped to pieces. Oh. Yeah, because it'll just be like, you know, it'll be there's people. You know, there's just too much fake out there. Cried wolf too many times. Sort of thing.
I've always said that, like, for instance, you could have the President of America doing a live stream to the whole world on the lawn of the White House, a UFO land, and they'll go, we're aliens, we're the only other living thing in the whole of the universe, there's only you and us, we've never visited the planet before this, and you know for a fact within an hour it's going to be on the internet, the government are covering it up.
Yeah.
You know,
I just sent the YouTube link on the your live about Borley, which is when I went there.
I'll check that out.
And in there, you'll see like this the colorized photos I've done.
I know the picture you made.
Yeah,
I do know the picture.
I was able to colorize them all up and that, and it's quite creepy.
What are your thoughts? And this is a big one because I've not really spoken to many people about this. But the Enfield poltergeist.
I know what you mean.
I personally think it was completely fake.
I think it started off as something legit, but I think the bigger the press got on it, the more was asked for, which is basically what happened with most haunted and stuff like that. Well, not necessarily, you know, but like they must be put under pressure. These production companies to. It is easy. I mean, when editing Paranormal Torch, it is so easy for you to change the narrative from what happened. For instance, I could easily put ask a question, nothing happens, then ask another question, something happens, but remove all that bit and make it look like it was previous. But I don't do that. I'm honest. And that's why when you watch the episodes, it says a few minutes has passed. It always comes up because so people know, oh, okay, so this is actually a little, even though a noise has happened, it wasn't instantly after the question was asked. Yeah. So, and I think that's what happens with a lot of these YouTube channels. They're very clever the way they edit, and so they might have got a knock in after they asked for something, but it was probably actually 5 minutes later.
From what I was taught growing up as a spiritualist, the spirit when they go over, they more or less go into what we would call the hospital to give them time to adjust to passing.
Yeah, there was a thing on Netflix a few years ago called The Good Place. That was quite funny. I wish it was.
Yes, I've seen it on there. I've hummed and hawed. I've not got around to watching it. But then
when they wake up,
I don't.
And they're like this, sitting in like the headmaster's office, and it's like, so you got hit by a car?
But see, it's like you were saying a little while ago about mediums and all that. Now, I know I'm not a medium, but sometimes things come through and they happen to be right. You know, I've been to mediums. My late nan, she went to the same spiritualist church for over 20 years, and she would go 3 times a week. But I'd never been there, and I spoke the guy, bless him, Paul. He died of cancer, I think about 15 years ago now. But at the time, he didn't know who I was. I just literally gone. My nana told me about the place. She didn't know I was going. I was in Ipswich. I thought, you know what? While I'm here, I'll pop in there. I walked in, started talking to him, and the first thing he said was, you had a son died. I've never ever seen him in my life. And he told me all these different things. And it was things that were like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So I started going there, and there was a Canadian guy called Keith that was a healer. I think it was on like a Tuesday or something. And I've actually got scoliosis and prolapse and arthritis. And sometimes I can't move. After he'd done healing on me, not actually touching me, but like literally like this distance above me, for about 2 days after, I literally had no pain at all. Now, was it psychosomatic, or was it actually doing something? Because there are famous so-called psychic surgeons like Stephen
You see them, don't you, in the churches and that as well, where they're standing there doing all of this. Yeah. Well,
it's like a very, very famous English one called Stephen Toroff. Now, my aunt, my dad, my so-called father, and my nan used to go to him for problems, and they swore by him. Oh yeah, he's the best thing in the world, it's real and all that. My aunt got rushed into hospital and went into a coma for something she had wrong with her that he claimed that she'd taken out. See, the trouble with this field is there's those that do you know what? Give me 50 quid and I'll tell you your future.
So,
you know, you're gonna find love in a year's time. Who's not gonna want to hear that? You know?
Yeah. I just going back, you know, when I said about I looked after coal asphalt and the amount of things I saw there.
Yeah.
The showmanship level, though, was the worst. They used to come in and they were making it all about them. A lot of the characters that used to look after the people, like for these event companies, it was just all about them. It wasn't about the location.
Yeah.
They should be there for the location, not them. But it just felt like,
Well, after we've chatted, if you look at some of mine and Dominic's videos, most of the time we're too busy pissing around.
I mean,
I'll be
trying
to do a piece. I'll be trying to do a piece to the camera. Dominic could be off camera farting.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I'll have to stop doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, they're making it more like a theatrical show that people come to see them rather than the location. And
that is why I think that is why one of the main reasons why I don't like doing these group things. Because if you go to a location, say for instance my flat, I'm in like a walk-in cupboard I've turned into an office. If I feel drawn, I'll feel drawn to somewhere that I think I'm going to get activity, but they say I've got to stay in my front room, it's like, piss off. I don't want to be there, I want to be over there. I've been doing this a long time. I'm not coming here for you to say you've got to sit there while Joe Bloggs is whispering over in the corner and you're thinking you've got an EVP.
And I've also noticed that sort of thing where you'll be standing there, and there was one particular night I was standing there, which is before I worked there. I was there as a guest in the early days. And I could hear these footsteps coming down the tunnels. But this medium so going and going and going and going. And they were like, don't worry about that. Well, hang on a minute. There's someone coming down the tunnels, but you're just waffling on here. We want to witness something. We could probably, and then well, that's what I mean when like showmanship. When something was going to happen there, and we're going to witness it, but no, because Joe Bloggs over there is too busy wanting to be the centre of attention, and that's what I don't like. So, but like Stuart, bless him, who I used on the latest video, he's good because he's not, he's good for people and that, but he goes in and he knows it's about the location, and also when Paranormal Tours was going as well, they used to use spiritualist mediums that tend to have been part of circles and churches.
Yes.
But now it's a course online.
in fairness, I have been invited to several circles, but I just don't want. I don't want to.
No, choice.
I'm happy if I feel that there's something there. I'll say it.
So it's just been the whole over the years really experienced and seen loads of different things and I think we're in a bit of a bad way at the moment with regards to evidence being, it's just like like the stuff I've got coming out at the moment, it's just like, it's good.
Yeah.
Could it be ghosts? Maybe, but it's hardly seen by anyone because we're not some big YouTuber who's goofing around, or you know. But at the end of the day, it's up there for people to watch. Whether 17
Yeah.
people watch it or 100 people watch it, you know, it's out there. It is a bit disheartening when you spend hours and hours and hours editing, because I do. It's like it takes about 4 or 5 days to go over the footage.
Yeah.
And then it gets cut down, and then it gets cut down again, because so I do 2 passes on cutting down, and then even to the last bit, I have to cut. Sometimes I might cut something in the bit, you know, think, oh, it's still too long, you know, that's not needed. Like for instance,
and
when
then,
I did the
the times I've spent 2-3 days editing a video, and then
10 people watching.
I've got I've had 4 views. I've looked at it and they've watched 6 seconds of it.
Because there's no jumping around, and you think, what is the point?
Yeah.
And it's expensive as well. I mean, last year I spent a fortune on locations. I did, but I wanted to do it. And I wanted to do it as part of, you know, to get them on the channel and that. And none of them are paid off really, because you know it's I mean, the Hellfire Cave was nearly $1,000.
I
went with
I looked into doing Framlingham Castle, and they because it's National Trust, they don't. Yeah, they only generally let have 1 or 2 investigations every few years. They wanted 1,500 quid for 4 hours.
So in Norwich, a few years back, I did. It was just coming on again on the back end of lockdown. It was all organised through it, but I was able to go during lockdowns because obviously it's so technically earning business. But even though I don't get no money from Paranormal Talks because it's not monetized, it's all my own money. It's still. I had a form to say I could film and stuff through the rest of the work I do. I booked to do Norwich Underground tunnels with
Funny enough, I watched that video about a week. I watched that about a week ago, I think. Actually,
you know how much it cost me?
It was a Tuesday. I was rushing it. It must have been the day before I went into hospital.
I was there from 7:30 to about 1. It was only like £75.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I asked to go back there this year, and because they've got so popular, guess how much they want now? Like £175 for 2 hours. I was like, what? But
fairness, I lived in Norwich with my. I'm going to try and count now. Hang on, 1, 2, 3rd wife. I lived in Norwich for about 5 years, and I did not know until I saw your video on YouTube. I did not know that underground existed.
No, what I found out about ages ago, there'd been one small investigation film. They'd only put up a little bit of footage, like, you know, it's like, oh, this is what we caught here. So I was the first, I think, to go along and do the whole thing. You know, it was deliberately, well, not deliberately, it was intentional to film it and showcase it. But when they told me how much they said, oh, yeah, we remember the video. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we've been busy. We booked nearly every night. Oh, and it'll be this much. I'm like, yeah, maybe next time.
I don't know if you found this as well. Like Christchurch Mansion in Ipswich, for instance. Now, I've been in there. I've seen things in there. I've felt things in there. I've heard things in there. I know people done investigations in there, and there is spirits there. Dominic knows it. I don't think he's still a security guard there, but Dominic knew somebody who was a security guard there, done night work, and they said on a regular basis something would happen. Yeah, if you phone up a lot of locations, they go, no, there's no such thing as ghost, or no, there's never been a paranormal event here. Do you find that happens?
I'll tell you where as well. Leamani Tower.
Where?
Okay, not far from Borley, there's a place called Leamani Tower. And Leamani Tower, and it's a castle, and it's got links to like the royal family years ago, a castle. And if you Google it, it's featured in the Web Haunting Archives, the one I've originally done, 2004. It's the Ayamani Tower, yeah. And well, anyway, I phoned them. I contacted them about 4 years ago and said about coming to do an investigation. Oh, we don't do that stuff here. We've never done that here. Really? Because I filmed there. Most Haunted filmed there.
Yeah.
So they got really funny with me. And I thought,
you think it could be just like that? Could go back to, like I was saying before, about things like Zach Baggins and that, because people watch that and think, right, if I go on Amazon now, by the morning, I'll have a new K2 and a REM pod, and they do it because they just literally don't want to get bombarded by morons.
Yeah, that's it. I think it is something, you know, they just don't want to, yeah. Yeah, the Web Haunting Archive, 16 years ago I filmed there. There's only a few videos up, but if I'd carried on, they would have been quite big, I think. But it was originally all for trailers and that, for paranormal tours. I did a lot of the stuff, and now obviously everyone seems to do trailers.
Yeah, it's like the guy that lives above me actually works in Colchester Castle.
Oh, nice.
He's one of the ushers at Colchester Castle. He said
they do ghosts, don't they?
Yeah, do you know how much they are? 65 quid a ticket.
Oh yeah, how much if you used to do it yourself? Like hire it?
That I don't know.
If I inquire, I'll let you know.
Yeah. But now, Craft, rightly or wrongly, I looked into doing Christchurch a while back with a couple of friends, and I've not got public liability. That's why me and Dom tend to go to like open places like Pottsford Gibbet and Big Bruins.
Open door policy, yeah.
It's basically free. It don't cost us anything.
Yeah.
Now, when it came to, I was really drawn. This was during lockdown. I was really drawn to Christchurch. I'd never been in there. I had a couple of friends with me, and I said, I can tell you, there's a room over on this side. It's got this in there. It's got that in there. It's got a globe that's like this particular colour and all that. And I'd never been in the building. We booked to go and walk around it. 'Cause it's free to look around, but because it was lockdown, you had to book and like wait till other people were out. Everything that I'd felt was in there, I found. And I'd never been in that building before.
The problem we've got now as well is just when you said about, with other people in there, there's so many in their groups. Okay, do you know Woodbridge?
Right, yeah,
you know Woodbridge?
Yeah.
Woodbridge Mill. I did an investigation there. That's quite a good one to go to, actually. Woodbridge Mill. It's worth it. It's quite cheap. But how the hell they get 30, 40 people in there on these events, I don't know. You can literally hear a pin drop from the downstairs on the bottom floor right at the top, because there's like a big shaft that goes through. Yeah, Jackie. Cat's, he's all soaked. The cat's just come in. And
mine's won't go out, but never mind.
Yeah.
See, I personally, rightly or wrongly, I would love to do a solo at Kelvin Hatch.
Yeah, I know. That's expensive.
You know what I mean? The nuclear bunker. But that's like 750 quid, I think it is.
Very expensive.
So, why not pay the 15 quid when it's open, pay the 15 quid to go as a visitor, wait until there's no one around, and just do it.
Because if in the day there's less people going to be around. If it's an open day, you know what I mean, then there will be on a paranormal investigation. But
15 quid's a damn sight cheaper than 750.
Yeah.
But when I lived in Leiston, there's a little transport museum. To be honest with you, the place isn't much bigger than a shed, really. It's a tiny little place.
I'm being what?
Now there is.
But
Fred, come here.
He's waiting for his food.
I've got my one moaning. I've only fed him 4 times today, so he's moaning at me.
He wants his, I have to do it in a minute.
Come here, Fred. Come here. Here he is.
There he is. Ah, look at that.
Look how fat he
He's
is. Look at the size of
he's
that
gone.
belly
No, he's
on him.
gone.
The
He's
size
gone.
of that belly on him.
Yeah.
I feed him 6 times. I feed him 6 times a day.
That's like,
That's the only way I can get him shut up,
I think
isn't it?
sometimes he's got dementia or something. He comes in, has his food, and then comes back and gets once more.
Oh, bless him. But no, as I was saying, there's a little transport museum there. It's got a couple of old-fashioned fire engines from like the 1900s and a couple of little bits in there. There is a story. There's an old hearse there as well, from the early 1900s. There is the odd sort of like so and so has said that there's a spirit of a great lady dressed in grey there, sort of thing. There's nothing confirmed, sort of thing, but there's like the odd couple of, oh, that place is haunted because of the old buildings, because the old vehicles. Shut up, Fred, you noisy bugger. No, there was the guy that runs it. He said there might be something here. He goes, I've had a few weird things. I put things down, and when I've gone to look for them again, they're missing. But it could be just I'm getting old, or I've just misplaced them. I don't know the name of the paranormal team, but I know a friend that knows them, that lived in Leiston. They'd heard about it. They'd come all the way from Manchester to do this place. Wow. Now they could have got in there and just had a look around and done this, that, and the other for, I think it was about £7 to get in. But they kept bugging this bloke. He did not want them to do it. He really didn't want them to do it, just in case it damaged the vehicles or whatever. So he went, you know what, if you want to do it, it's £900. The bloke, no word of lie, goes back in 10 minutes. He came back with £900 cash. He goes, there you go then. But he literally said that much. So they go, well, stop that, I ain't paying that price. But you know what, they did.
It's actually, just going back to like what I said about live investigations aren't, I don't class as real investigations. There is actually, some of the locations are now getting a bit cautious.
Yeah.
The ancient Ram for one. They don't want lives being done because it's putting the Ram at risk, because people know you're in there. And that's when they don't want problem. They tell you to keep lights down to low, and yeah, so when you're live streaming, because they were telling me on the phone last year when I was booking it that they had someone there and they had like 40,000 watchers and they made like 700, 800, a grand in one night just from gifting, and yet they only got charged £75 by the ramming per head, and it's really good at the ramming because they could have put their money up.
Yeah.
If you go there on your own, you pay £75. If you go there with 4 people, you pay 4 times £75. That's it. You know, they could. I think it might be different on a Friday and Saturday night, but it's again, they're really good. You know, Caroline's nice. She's not. She's just happy for people to experience the ramming.
Yeah. See, the problem with me, you've got like East Drive, the ramming.
They're expensive.
Over in America, is it Waverly Hills or wherever it is?
In America, yeah.
You got all of these different places. Now, even if I had the public liability, I have got my motorbike, but to be honest, because I'm only on provisional, there's a lot of places I can't get because I can't go on a motorway. But even if I had the public liability, I would only do these places to debunk them. Whereas I personally prefer places like Covife or Dunwich or Pottsford Gibbet or what's the one up near me? Damn, I can't think of the name of it. I can't remember. But there's like places like that. Sorry, I'm angry sleeping machines.
So I will shut off in a minute. So but just before I do finish, I mean, I've got public liability, obviously, because I've got a business for the music and sound design, and I added videography to it, and they cover all of the equipment if it gets damaged, and also public liability. When I hired, it's not out yet actually, fun enough. So I hired the Elizabethan house in Great Yarmouth last year. And I hired that with Luke and his team from Shadow Paranormal, but it was under my
Shadow
insurance. Shadow Paranormal, that Luke, yeah.
Me and Dominic had spoken to Shadow Paranormal about doing a collab with them. And Luke spoke to me a few times and asked him, because obviously Dominic's the driver, so obviously speak to Dominic, then he's going to be the one taking us to location, so he's the one you need to talk to. And also he's like a lead investigator, and never heard anything back from him.
I'll just keep trying, you know. I mean, Luke's he's quite busy, really. I think.
Yeah.
So I don't think he does Facebook too much, to be honest.
They've been going for about 15 years as well,
a long
haven't they?
time, yeah. So, and they're pretty like us, you know. He's literally so we've done a couple of locations together now. We did Elizabethan House together, but I needed to adjust my insurance because it was under Norfolk County Council. They wanted £5 million public liability, and I only had one, so that had to go up. That put the money up.
Yeah.
And then, but at the same time, coming out
for you, it's different because you do it as a business. You need the public liability. Yeah. And obviously you must love the field, or otherwise you would have been doing it 21 years. I do it because I love the field, because I want to try and find out if there is something thereafter, so that I can be with my kids and be with my family that I've lost.
The whole thing with public liability. This is why I do get it when some small teams like yourself do go into small events, because that will help to pay for your insurance. Yeah. So yeah, I think that is good if you do that. You know, 10 people to a location.
I know you can get 1 day public liability, can't you? One off. But to be honest with you, I find these more obscure places. You can go to locations that have got no haunted history whatsoever and get shitloads of stuff, lots of personal experiences, photographs, EVPs, or you can go to somewhere, like say Landguard Fort, pay 450 quid and get absolutely nothing.
Well, Landguard's a bit of a funny one actually, because I tried to get in there, and I've been there once before, a long time ago, and they said, "Oh, you're gonna have to go through English Heritage." I'm like, what? Because you want to film, you need to go through English Heritage. But I've had no problems with the other faults.
me and Dominic did Landguard Fort during the lockdown, so there was very few people there. But we literally just paid to go in as customers. We don't need to. But Dominic loved it there. I wasn't impressed at all.
I did Redoubt Fort.
Sorry?
Redoubt Fort's nice.
That's Harwich, isn't it? Yeah.
They literally give you the key, say to you in the morning.
Yeah, I lived when I was a teenager. I lived in Harwich, but back then you couldn't go in there. No. So I keep saying I'm going to go there, and I just never get round to it. Have you ever done Epping Forest?
No, I want to. I actually want to do a camping one.
You're not allowed to camp there.
And also, what's it on Pluckley?
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Epping Forest. I grew up in Epping Forest. Every Sunday, without fail, during the summer and spring, my nan and granddad took me to High Beach to have a picnic. And that's got such history. There's the church, the silent church there, that some guy had actually murdered his sister in a devil worshipping thing.
Oh dear.
It's believed, even though Ronnie and Reggie were only done for the one murder, it's believed there's several other bodies that they've put in there. The famous Babes in the Wood case from the 70s, that was Epping Forest. 1964, I think it was, some woman was found in a car at High Beach with a crossbow bolt through her head.
Bloody hell.
And the old Dick Turpin.
Dick Turpin.
He done some really nasty stuff down there, and allegedly Boudica as well.
Boudica.
Yeah, Loughton Camp is believed that Boudica may have used that for a short period of time for camping out as they was trying to go across the country against the Romans. But unfortunately, Dom's got to drive 50 miles to get me, and then another 25 miles to Epping Forest, then drive 25 miles to get me back, and then 50 miles home again. So it's a lot of driving.
Mm. Is Epping Forest closed at night then?
No, it's open. It's open, but you can't legally camp there.
No. But you could you could probably take some deck chairs and stuff and sit down, sort of.
Yeah, just I'm stargazing.
Yeah.
But I want to do it. Bring back childhood memories for me as well. You know, sitting down at. Oh, by the way, I've just sent that video. It's a 40-second video clip that I've said about what we might have caught on camera. What slowed down one. I've just sent that to you in PM.
Yeah.
So if you have a quick look at that, I'd like your opinion on that.
Have a look. It's loading there.
It's about a 40-second clip.
Yeah, it's about loading. Oh yeah, slow it down. Yeah. So I'm looking at.
It happens straight as the video starts.
Oh, is it the fuzz on the screen?
Look at the actual.
Yeah.
Look at the video.
Yeah, strange,
the video camera screen.
Yeah, you've got some sort of interference on the screen. It looks like, doesn't it? It's something going past.
Look, and that, like I said, I slowed that down 96%.
Yeah.
And look how fast that goes past.
Interesting.
I can't explain. Even now, I can't explain that. And if I quickly send you this one, this is where I got copy paste. This is where it got caught on camera when I got pushed. So if I just quickly, right, hold on, copy paste. Right, that's just sent. That's where I actually got pushed. Eddie was filming at the time. Eddie Mallet was filming at the time.
Okay, right, so. Is that in slow-mo, is it as well?
Yep. If you watch, you can literally see the top of my back go.
Just in it. Yeah, just literally. Yeah, it's almost like the shoulder bit, isn't it? Mm.
Yeah. I literally felt myself getting shoved.
Mm.
And it wasn't long after that that Dominic started feeling ill as well.
Oh, blimey.
Dominic won't leave a location. You know, he's like me. He's stubborn. He wants the proof. He's going to stay there through thick or thin. He had to leave the building.
Yeah.
We had to cut the investigation short.
Yeah.
The last couple of questions. What would it take for you on one of your investigations? Oh, pussycat.
Sorry?
What would it take for you in one of your locations you go to, or like an investigation in general? What would it take you to go, do you know what? Yeah, 100%. There's such things as ghosts.
Actually seeing something, I think, visually right in front of me. Especially if it was a family member.
But then again, yeah, saying that, because then you can confirm if you saw it, I know who that person is.
That's it.
But, see, the way I personally look at it, yes, I'd love to see one of my children. I'd love to see my nan or something like that. But in the back of my head, I'm out on a ghost hunt. I'm looking for ghosts. So, throw the towel, Jamie.
Yeah. No, I think
in the back of my head, I'm saying, right, because I'm on a ghost hunt. If I saw my nan, is it because I'm on a ghost hunt and I'm looking for a ghost, and my mind's telling me my nan's standing there?
Yeah. If something was in front of me, then yeah. But then saying that, when I was at the Ram Inn, I thought I looked around. I thought there was a woman company like that, but it was like kind of like in my mind's eye sort of thing. It wasn't there.
Yeah,
I checked on the cameras. I don't know if I fell asleep or something.
Pineal gland or pineal gland or whatever it's pronounced.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. So that happened then, but just got to do this second. I'm being attacked by the cat.
Oh.
Yeah,
my cat's been attacking me all day today.
There we go. Is that better? And also, There we go. I'll have to sign off in a minute anyway. So yeah, it's definitely. I'm always open-minded, but most of the things I see are just like, easily.
Most things can be explained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
There's
that's it. Yeah.
see a lot. I've always say there's a difference between unexplained and paranormal. A lot of people say it's the same thing, but it's not. Unexplained is at this moment, I don't know what it is.
That's it.
Paranormal is I've eliminated everything, and I still don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
In some way, it's like a seesaw. Some ways it's the same, some ways it's different.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Is there anything that paranormal wise you wouldn't do?
Don't know. That's a bit of that could be quite a large range of question, couldn't it? Really? As in, like, I've done Ouija boards.
For instance, out on investigation, say for instance, like Postage, as I said, there's like the story of Jonas Snell, allegedly a double mass murder. It could have been set up. It's like 1699 or whenever it was this happened. So he may have just been in the wrong place at the wrong time or whatever. So if he was like there, okay, Jonah, if you're here, I'm getting pissed off now. You need to effing prove yourself to me. It's all right.
Oh, I do
really
that.
provoking.
Yeah.
You do.
Provoking and that. And we've done Ouija boards. Try anything really that's safe to do. Really, isn't it?
See, now, Ouija boards, my opinion, a lot of people don't touch Ouija boards. It opens up doorway, bloody, all this sort of crap.
It's a bit of cardboard.
Yeah. I've got a piece of wood here. Are you scared of that as well if I wrote with an alphabet on it?
Yeah.
No. What way I personally look at Ouija boards, it's just the focal point.
Yeah.
So whether your person knows they're psychic or whether a person is a medium, clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, whatever they may be, with the board there, it opens up the person. Subconsciously, it opens up the person so more can potentially come through. Now, originally, Ouija boards, if you look, because they was made by the Parker brothers, or whatever they're called, the people that make Monopoly. Ironically, the guy that created the Ouija board, his grave is a Ouija board.
Sounds about right.
I can't think of his name. That's bugging me. But when the Ouija boards first came out, it wasn't to do with contacting spirits. It was to do with contacting your inner self.
Yeah.
It was to do with asking yourself questions and your subconscious mind answering your questions about yourself.
Interesting.
So that's why I say a Ouija board is a focal point for the person's mind to be more relaxed and more open to experiences.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean, it's terrible now. You can even, like you say, I think it was Hasbro or someone, didn't it? You can get them in Toys R Us.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Over in America, they had little pink Ouija boards, didn't they?
That's right, yeah. They were selling them in the pound shop, weren't they? About a year or two ago for Halloween.
Yeah.
That's quite
I just thought that was right. And that uproar that caused, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean,
but there's, do you remember, I'm old enough, but I don't remember much about the Satanic Panic of the 80s.
No.
I remember bits and pieces of it, but it's like, oh, you play Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to roll a dice, so therefore I'm opening a portal to hell.
Yeah.
That attitude for some reason, and I've had American friends say it as well recently, that Satanic Panic seems to be creeping back in again over in America.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's, I don't know, it's a weird field.
Yeah.
Because, like, for instance, you could go out on an investigation tomorrow and get the biggest proof of your life that 400% you know for a fact there's life after death now.
It's proven it to everyone else.
You can have 15 other people around there and not see a thing.
True.
You know, are you telling the truth, or are the other 15 people telling the truth?
Makes me laugh. You can even now get iPad. We can. I'm going to switch that off. Yep, I better make a move anyway.
Yeah, no, it's been brilliant chatting to you.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
If you want to quickly promote Paranormal Torch,
sure. We'll just go paranormaltorch.com. That's the easiest way.
Okay, and you're on YouTube, obviously.
Yeah, it'll go on to there. So basically, it's the easiest way to do it. Yeah. So.
Last question: have you got anything big coming up?
Actually, yeah. So I was going to say, not next. I think it's next week or the week. Not next week. The week after. The Toll House Museum's coming out. So when I did Elizabethan House, I also did the Toll House as well about a year ago. Well over a year ago. As this film. That's how far ahead I filmed. So yeah.
That's what we do. If like for instance, me and Don were out tonight, I'd sit up all night and part of tomorrow, edit it, and I'd post it the same day. I don't ever.
Yeah, no, it's all to do with like I want to make sure it's the only chance I'm going to get to do something like that. So with that, I approached a chap who's got photos of the place, and so once I got all of the stuff through properly, I thought I'd do it all properly just to make sure I didn't want to go down. Don't want to get slapped wrist.
Do you do much research on your locations that you go into, or do you go in blind?
Yeah, I like to know as much as possible.
Well, we don't. We tend to. We'll go in blind. We'll go we might see a video clip. Oh yeah, there's a team there. It's all this happened, that happened. All right, we'll go there and we'll see what we get.
No, that's understandable. I've come across that a lot, but I prefer to, so I know where to place cameras or try and recreate sort of things. So.
See, that's where it goes back to it being a business for you, whereas it's more of a journey of knowledge.
Yeah, it's not a business. I mean, it's just only a hobby, really. It's just I'm lucky I can do it on the sort of side as a, I mean, under the. But I did the Ram in back in December, and then we went back. Well, I went back on my own. So there will be at some point multiple Ram in episodes coming up, and I've done some.
Remember to share a paranormal there for us. So
I did some different experiments.
They're
not exactly the experiment you can expect at first.
One experiment that I've tried a few times, that we've started doing it recently, just before you go, Dominic bought himself a full spectrum camera. And it's his little baby at the moment. We've caught a couple of possible things on there, but nothing that could be yes or no sort of thing. But the experiment that we've been trying, Dominic will have his camera ready. I'll stand with my hand out, and I'll say if there's any spirits here, when I count to 3, touch my hand, and as I do that, Dominic will take a picture. In the hope that possibly there might be a light orb or something in my hand. Well, that's the newest one we've tried.
One of the things, once I set on off in a minute, but one of the things, I'll leave you on this thought. Something I'm always after on investigations is what I call a sequence of events. When certain things, maybe 2 or 3 things will happen at once. And that's what we had at the Marina Theatre when I caught that voice. And that's what I've had in various places when 3 or 4 things, 2 or 3 things, has to be a multiple things. So, I mean, when you get one thing like a REM pod go off, it could be just maybe a bug or something, But when things happen and you think, well, hang on a minute, what's going on here? That's when you're onto something with a sequence of events. And I think parapsychologists prefer that as well.
It's like when we was at the St Jude and we was all out, because Dominic was sat out there with us while the rest of us were having a cigarette, and we heard the chairs go like that across the floor. You know, that was, and there was literally nobody else in that building whatsoever. And the fact that when we went in there, they were in completely different positions. That's what interests me. And now I've had my health scare. I'm wondering if that's sort of like put a big bullseye on me. So that's why I'm planning to go back.
Yeah. Sounds an interesting place. I'm going to watch that thingy and watch it now.
Yeah. check some. Please like and subscribe. If you subscribe to us, that gets up to 40. So I really appreciate
you need to put your Facebook page back to normal.
Yeah, I know. You've seen the trouble I had with technology tonight.
It's private. Because it's private, it's not coming up in the searches.
Yeah, I'm dreadful for.
Yeah,
I'm really bad at technology.
Open. I mean,
so, but no, Jeremy, it's really been mind-bending. It's fantastic chatting to you.
Yeah, and I'll put links up in the morning and just say, come if they want to rewatch this.
Yeah, I will. When I get round to it, I'll chuck it on YouTube at some point tonight.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
so, and we'll talk again.
Jeremy, it's been absolutely fantastic. I have actually got one. I've clicked off because I've got that video clip. I clicked it off, but there was one of yours that I wanted to watch. I wanted to check again. I'll find it in a minute. Where was it? I seem to which one it was. If I've not deleted it, shit. I think I've deleted it. Bugger. I have. No, because I brought in video clips up for you, I've accidentally kicked it off.
I actually tidied up the YouTube channel a little bit, so now all of the investigations are on the one bit.
Yeah.
And then all the graveyard ones are under another, and then anything else like is under yeah. And there should be an order of release.
Since I've been here, because I'll quickly say before I go, because in my previous place I used to get EVPs and footsteps and doors and everything happening. Obviously, instinctively, because where I am now, the guy that was here before had lived here 16 years, and he died of COPD in the front room. So I thought, if anything, he's probably moved on to his family, but it might be residual. I've been here about 8 months and I've never got anything. And last night, if you look on Paranormal Anglia, it's on there. I got my first EVP on there that sounds quite nasty, actually.
So, well, earlier when you were sorting out your phone, that guy that came on was quite a nice chap.
But anyway, no, joking. It's been absolutely fantastic, buddy. I really, really do appreciate it.
We'll talk again.
Guys, if anyone, I know there's no one watching now. I know briefly Dominic watched earlier, but anyone watches this back, follow Jamie on YouTube. Yeah,
or YouTube, yeah. And, yeah. So just think it's on there. Paranormal Talk. I'll tell you how that name came about. So the name came about right when I was going on the investigation at the fort one night. I was like, "Where's my torch?" And the missus was like, "What torch?" "My paranormal torch." That's how it came about.
Well, do you know what? Up until about 3 days ago, me and Dominic were Space Paranormal, and I can't remember what it was, but Space was an acronym. And Dominic's missus calls him a grump for a laugh, and because I get arsey and all that, Dominic calls me a grump for a laugh. So I've just changed it to Grumpy Spirit Paranormal.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, Joey, really appreciate it, buddy.
All right, mate.
Look forward to your future stuff, and I can speak to you in the future.
We might meet up at some point.
Definitely, yeah. Right. Talk to Dominic about that. So I said Dominic's the driver. So, but I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, buddy.
Have a good evening.
Take care, mate.
Thanks for your time. Goodbye.